Hello students, welcome back to bankexamstudy.com, and today we are going to discuss RBI's Master Circular related to the KYC guidelines. My name is Ramandeep Singh and this session is important for Punjab and Sindh Bank Credit Manager Scale 2 2025 exam, and this session is part of Punjab and Sindh Bank Credit Manager Scale 2 course, in which we are covering the entire syllabus. We are covering the general awareness, English and the professional knowledge. And we'll be providing the complete test series and power capsule for this exam. And this is my WhatsApp number. You can ask your queries anytime. So let's start the session. And before starting, let me show you the pictures of our successful students in the past. All these students that took our courses in the past and they cracked the respective exams, and I'm really happy for them. So let's start the session with what is KYC. So KYC is Know Your Customer. It's a process by which bank obtains information about the identity and address of the customer. अगर आपने कभी बैंक में अकाउंट खुलवाया है तो आपका एक बेसिक KYC स्टार्टिंग में होता है. They get your identity and address proof, right? So it is mandated under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA 2002, and it is enforced by RBI. What is the objective? First one is to prevent money laundering, terrorist financing, frauds, and make sure that banks, they know their customer. मेजर तो गोल यही है, टेररिस्ट फंडिंग और कोई फ्रॉड्स हैं जैसे ऑनलाइन स्कैम्स होते हैं, फ़ोन स्कैम्स होते हैं, उनसे बचा जा सके, राइट? दिस इज़ द मेजर गोल, यही मेन गोल है. कंप्लाई विद फाइनेंशियल एक्शन टास्क फोर्स रिकमेंडेशंस. So regulatory framework, KYC is governed under the Master Directions KYC Guidelines 2016, जो आज हम डिटेल में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं, and it is applicable to scheduled commercial banks, RRBs, commercial banks, NBFCs and payment banks. So what are the components of KYC? सबसे important, Customer Identification Procedure, CIP. So identification using official valid documents. सो एक प्रॉपर प्रोसीजर है एंड जिसमें जो कस्टमर आइडेंटिफिकेशन होती है ऑफिशियली वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट से ही होती है. सो कस्टमर ड्यू विच आर द ऑफिशियली वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट्स, OVD, वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट इन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. पूरी लिस्ट प्रोवाइड करेंगे. सो कस्टमर ड्यू डिलिजेंस, इट्स अ रिस्क बेस्ड असेसमेंट एंड ऑनगोइंग मॉनिटरिंग. कस्टमर की प्रोफाइलिंग होती है, उन्हें लो, मीडियम, हाई रिस्क में डिवाइड किया जाता है, एंड जो KYC है रेगुलरली उसी के हिसाब से अपडेट होती है. And then ongoing due diligence, monitoring customer transactions on a regular basis, on a real-time basis, to ensure consistency with the customer profile. राइट, किसी कस्टमर के अकाउंट में आज तक 20-30 हज़ार रुपये से ज़्यादा की एंट्री नहीं आई, एकदम से 20 करोड़ की आ गई, देन द रियल टाइम जो सिस्टम है वो उसमें रेड फ्लैग आएगा. So enhanced due diligence for high risk customers like politically exposed persons, right? NRIs. So what are the OVDs, officially valid document? कौन से हैं? Passport, driving license, voter ID, PAN. PAN is only applicable for personal identification, not address validation. Narega job card, duly signed by a state government officer, letter from National Population Register. And जो आधार है, आधार कैन बी यूज्ड वॉलंटरली फॉर KYC अंडर सेक्शन 11A ऑफ PMLA. So types of KYC, very important point. First one is full KYC. It's a face-to-face verification with the OVDs, जो अभी documents discuss करे हैं. It's a face-to-face verification with biometrics. Simplified KYC, it's allowed for the small accounts. What are BSBD, small account or BSBD accounts, in which the transaction limit is 1 lakh rupee in 1 year, and maximum balance is 50,000 rupee in a year. Okay. eKYC, Aadhaar based electronic verification via UIDAI is now acceptable. Video KYC has been allowed from 2020 for onboarding customers remotely. So customer risk categorization, this is really important. There are low risk category customers, for example, government employees, salaried people, low volume accounts. And then there is medium risk category customers, for example, self-employed business with normal turnover, like businesses with turnover of less than 1 CR per year. high risk NRIs, politically exposed people, or cash intensive businesses. So that's how generally there is no fixed rule that all NRIs should be high risk. ये fixed rule नहीं है, but generally customers are classified according to their risk profiling, right? So how customer risk is decided? Bank classify customers into low, medium and high risk based upon various risk indicators. The first one is generally occupation. Salaried, as I discussed, according to their occupation, salaried employees are generally low risk, self-employed businessmen generally they are medium risk, and armed dealers they are like high risk. Politically, the political status impacts the risk category classification. Nationality, obviously in foreign nationals generally they are classified as high risk. The reputation in the past also determines your risk. So examples, as I have already discussed, low salaried employees, students, pensioners, people with low volume transactions, they are generally low risk. Sole proprietors, traders, small businesses, generally they are like medium risk, right? And then PEPs, NRIs, NGOs, they are of high risk, right? Let me just write it down. Medium risk and then high risk. So KYC for different types of accounts. For individuals, OVD plus a recent photographs. For companies, certificate of incorporation plus PAN plus a resolution plus authorized signatory KYCs. For partnership, registration certificate plus partnership deed plus authorized partner KYCs. And for trust, trust deed plus registration certificate plus authorized signature ka KYC is required. Now that is important. Periodic KYC updation is required. For low risk, every 10-year re-KYC is required. For medium risk, every 8-year re-KYC is required. For high risk, every 2-year re-KYC is required. No fresh documents are required if there is no change in KYC information. So there are penalties. RBI has penal powers under the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Non-compliance leads to monetary penalty, reputation risk and increased scrutiny. So recent updates are there. Use of central KYC registry is mandatory for all regulated entities. Small accounts can now be opened via business correspondence with OTP based KYC. Digital KYC is widely accepted using DigiLocker and Aadhaar XML, right? So FATF sets global standards for anti-money laundering, and FIUIND, Financial Intelligence Unit India, collect and analyzes suspicious international transactions, right? So let's start the session. What is the primary objective of KYC guidelines issued by the RBI? The simple goal is to prevent money laundering, obviously promoting digital payment and boosting credit growth. These are not the primary goals. The primary goal is to prevent money laundering, right? Which of the following is not officially valid documents, OVD, as per RBI? So passport, Aadhaar, voter IDs, all these are address proofs, right? But the PAN card, this can be an identity proof. This can be an identity proof, but a PAN card is not an address proof, right? A PAN card is not acceptable as an address proof. What is the maximum? This is a really important question. This question has been asked multiple times. ये क्वेश्चन जो है BSBD अकाउंट वाला क्वेश्चन बहुत बार एग्जाम में आ चुका है. दो ही क्वेश्चन आते हैं. व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम transactions, deposits that you can make in a BSBD account. BSBD account में कितना पैसा एक साल में जमा कर सकते हो, कितनी ट्रांजेक्शन कर सकते हो, और दूसरा कितना मैक्सिमम बैलेंस हो सकता है. सो एनुअल क्रेडिट ट्रांजेक्शन मतलब क्रेडिट ट्रांजेक्शंस, कितना पैसा आप जमा करवा सकते हो. एट मैक्स इन द BSBD अकाउंट 1 लाख रुपी कैन बी डिपॉजिटेड, राइट? इन द BSBD अकाउंट 1 लाख रुपी कैन बी डिपॉजिटेड. And the maximum account balance इन द BSBD अकाउंट अकाउंट बैलेंस कितना होना चाहिए? मैक्स अकाउंट बैलेंस, मैक्सिमम अकाउंट बैलेंस जो है एक टाइम पे इन द BSBD अकाउंट कैन बी ₹50,000। तो अगर ये क्वेश्चन नहीं बना है, बट दिस इज़ रियली इम्पॉर्टेंट एग्जामिनेशन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से याद रखिए। क्रेडिट जो है ट्रांजेक्शन्स 1 लाख रुपए एक साल में आप जमा करवा सकते हैं और 50,000 रुपये का मैक्सिमम अकाउंट बैलेंस हो सकता है। इससे ज़्यादा आप अकाउंट बैलेंस जो है वो नहीं रख सकते। ओके, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड with the question number 4. What is the full form of FATF? Very important question. The international body relevant to the KYC regulations. FATF, Financial Action Task Force. This question, I have seen this question in the previous paper. पिछले सालों में मैंने ये question exam में देखे हैं. Financial Action Task Force. आप बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ के जाते हो, लेकिन ऐसे ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन भी आ जाते हैं. So FATF, it's an intergovernmental body that sets the global standards for combating मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एंड टेरर फाइनेंसिंग, राइट? सो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के स्टैंडर्ड्स जो हैं, गोल्डन स्टैंडर्ड्स जो हैं, ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड्स जो हैं, FATF फाइनेंशियल एक्शन टास्क फोर्स जो है यही सेटअप करते हैं. सो दिस इज़ द क्वेश्चन. स्मॉल अकाउंट BSBDA अकाउंट को BSBDA अकाउंट को हम स्मॉल अकाउंट भी बोल देते हैं. बेसिक सेविंग बैंक अकाउंट्स स्मॉल अकाउंट्स भी बोल देते हैं. मैक्सिमम account balance in a BSBDA saving bank account can be 50,000 rupees. 50,000 रुपये तक का एक टाइम पे बैलेंस हो सकता है. एक पूरे साल में 1 लाख रुपये आप जमा तक करवा सकते हो. Which of the following statement is true about re-KYC for a high-risk customer? Who is a high-risk customer? A politically exposed person, right? Track record क्या है? A person's, what is a track record of person, right? The transaction size, the volume of transactions, the transaction size क्या है, right? So these are some of the factors. Nationality, from which nation, nationality matters a lot. Okay, these are the various factors that can affect the categorization. So if somebody is politically exposed person, he is going to be high risk customer, right? So for the high risk customer, re-KYC is required to be done after every 2 years. So customers are categorized according to their risk profile. So there are 3 categories: low risk, medium risk and high risk. जो government employees हैं generally, low volume customers हैं, वो low risk में आते हैं. Sole proprietors, traders, they are like medium risk, right? And then high risk customers, politically exposed person, track record, volume, nationality, ये matter करता है. What is the name of the government mandatory repository where customer KYC data is stored? This is a really important question. Where does the KYC data is actually stored? KYC data is stored at CKYCR, right? CKYCR में जब गवर्नमेंट डेटा है, Central KYC Records Registry stores the KYC records of the customer at one place and it is used by financial institutions to avoid duplications. Please remember that CKYCR is the central repository of all the KYC data. Which year did RBI allowed video KYC? With the help of video, you can do the KYC. So VCIP for full KYC completion, it was allowed in 2020. Which of the following is not required to open a small account? What is not required? Aadhaar is actually not required, right? So Aadhaar is not mandatory for small accounts. Only self-attested photo and a signature thumb impression are required to be done in the presence of bank officials. But obviously there are limitations. बहुत सारे limitation है. 1 लाख रुपए से ज़्यादा credit नहीं हो सकते. 50,000 का maximum account balance है. Who are considered politically exposed persons? Individual holding prominent public positions, they are politically exposed people. Thank you and have a very nice day. Please watch the previous session. पिछला सेशन आप एक बार देख लीजिए जिसमें हमने KYC को डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन करा है. list of our successful students in the past. All these students, they took our courses in the past and they cracked their respective exams, and I'm really happy for them. You can be one of them in the future, and yes, you will be one of them in the future. Write a 5-star review for bank exams today. Link is available in the description. That's all for today, students. This is my WhatsApp number. You can ask your doubts here and I'm going to answer all your doubts. Thank you and have a very nice day. Bye-bye.